So, hi Thomas.
Hi, Peter.
So it's a pleasure to see you here. So Thomas will be talking about web analytics and getting started. So with basically the essentials of Matomo web analytics. So Thomas is a freelance digital analyst and consultant from Bavaria with more than 10 years of experience. So he's a very experienced participant, very appreciated. He's doing web analytics, SEO, data flows, and as I read, he also teaches web analytics at the universities in Salzburg. So yeah, very nice and appreciated that you're here today. So I give you the word now, and yeah, have fun.
Yeah, thank you, Peter. Thank you to be here. So I try to share my screen now. So I hope everyone can see. Can everyone see the slides?
Yes, looks good.
So okay, I have here the. So thanks and welcome to the MatomoCamp 2025. Today we have very much interesting talks and slides and so on. And today I'm talking about a little bit about web analysis with Matomo. We're going through the different reports in Matomo, and I show you everything about Matomo analytics, what you want to see here. So maybe here a little bit about me. Peter said it's already. You can feel free to reach out. I'm a web analyst from Bavaria. I'm doing some little Matomo tutorial videos on YouTube. If you want to learn more about Matomo in German, you can also visit my YouTube channel, and you can also add me on LinkedIn if you have further questions. So let's start. Not any questions. First of all, I want to start um, with a little two questions with a little poll. If you want, you can go to menti.com and enter the code, or you can go to the QR code and scan it with your mobile phone. And then I have two questions for you. So if you're ready, my first question is how familiar you are with Matomo. So I want to know about a little bit about you behind the screen, because this is not live in person. So um, I want to know about the persons here a little bit. So two beginners, one immediate. I hardly know Matomo. Maybe after this talk, you know Matomo a little bit better. Two advanced, four beginners. So, okay. So beginner. So this talk is about, or is for beginners to get a quick overview. With two advanced, this is also very good here. Five beginners, so most of you are beginners. The second one is here, which topics are the most important to you when you're using Matomo, or um, when you hear about Matomo first time, when you read about Matomo, maybe GDPR and Matomo. Which topics are the most important to you using Matomo? No, no one wants to talk about Matomo. So to tracking a campaign dashboard. So now the tracking campaign, we can take a little bit deeper event logic. Maybe we can sum up this a little bit. So dashboards is the first one we will start here. Filtering in reports, GDPR, tracking campaign. So, yeah, many topics. Maybe we cannot cover every one of this, but I will see. So we start into if you're first new into secondary dimension. This is on another page, I think, but we can start up now. So first of all, if you're very new in Matomo, you can use Matomo or you can try it out with the demo. There's a demo on demo.matomo.cloud, and there you can use Matomo like you're using it in Matomo Cloud. There are two versions of Matomo. There's the on-premise version. You can host it for free for your own. And then there's the other version. There's Matomo Cloud. There is InnoCraft, the company behind Matomo, will host Matomo for you, and you have some extra features like more plugins in Matomo to use Matomo a little bit deeper. So feel free to use it. We will switch today because I only have for my demo shop, I only have the on-premise version. So first of all, if you're starting here into Matomo and you enter Matomo, you have all your websites here. On Matomo, there is the menu. You have here a time picker, then you have here the segments and the dashboard. And here it's very important for the on-premise version to update Matomo in time. So I don't update Matomo because then I can show you that there is a message. You can update it. It's not so complicated if you're on the cloud version. InnoCraft will do it for you. And this is very important. So we don't do it now. We're going through the reports. On the dashboards of Matomo, that's very nice. You have different widgets here on the dashboard. You have for example, the visits in real time, visits over time. And if you want to add a new dashboard, for example, you can go on and create a new dashboard. This is a test dashboard for now. And you can say, okay, make a default dashboard with some of the most important widgets you want to, or you can create an empty dashboard. And then you have here an empty dashboard, can add some widgets. You have here different widgets, and if you are hovering on these, there are the widgets are linked to the reports. So if you see here on the left side, you have the visitors, behavior reports, acquisition, and the same you have here. So if you want to have some type of the visitor log, you can hover here, and then you can see which report you get here. So visitors in real time, for example, or the real-time map. It's very nice if there is if there is a website with some active users. You see here the visitors in the real-time map. And you can also add, and you can also rename the dashboard, and you can also add different types. You can say, okay, I want to have the which operating system or which browser visiting my website, or the device brands and the device type. There are many metrics and dimensions you already know from other web analysis systems like maybe like GA4 or Adobe Analytics. You see also here, and you click it here, and you can move your widgets here. You can also say, okay, I want to change my dashboard layout design. So I have here one column or three columns, for example. So you can say, okay, I have one big, and then you can switch the design, and you can drag and drop your widgets, and it's saved immediately. These are the dashboards, very nice feature here in Matomo. And then we going here into the different reports. On every report here for visitors, behavior, acquisition, you have an overview. The overview sum up all the other reports in there. So for example, these are the visitors. So some information about the visitors, maybe the device type, software type, what are they doing on the websites, and you have here the page views. The page views, it is summed up like as one person can do one visit on a site. So visit is a session compared to GA4, and in a session I can do many page views, and also can do many actions on a session. So action can be, for example, an event for downloading or to clicking on an external link, or to go onto an internal search. So if you have an internal search, you can also track this in Matomo. And then you have here the actions for that. So if you want to see not the page views, you can see the visits, you can click on, and then these metric will appear here. So if you want to compare it a little bit, to add the page views, also here you can click here on the graphic and see here the different metrics to measure here. So it's very nice. In Matomo, you can also save this image, so you don't have to make a screenshot of it. You can save it and export the image. You can also use the export functionality. It's a little bit advanced, so you can say, okay, I want to export this as CSV or for an Excel file. Then you can export this in this format, or for HTML, for example. Then you have here, this is the kind of your Excel or your CSV will look like if you export it. You see here many more details. So if you're using the export functionality or the API here, so you have here also an export URL. This is the API call you can use, and you can import it in your system as well, and you'll see you have more metrics that will appear here on the overview of Matomo. So this is the overview. You can go to the visits log also, and the visits log is a very nice feature I love in Matomo. So other tracking solutions have this as well, but I think Matomo has the best one of this. You can see some different kind of users here in the visits. So if we take this one, this is a very nice. This is a user. In the demo account, the user, you have here the user visiting the website. Here you have the first entry. This is from Google search. The keyword is not defined, but it's from from the Google search. User visited here yesterday from a desktop device and the Apple generic desktop, and he's from Germany. He uses a card deck, going to the card, going back, searching for others, and then he going to the have here the card, have two deck of cards in the card, and left it, and searching around other card decks to maybe add to the card, and then there is this is a purchase. So this is a goal we have here, and this is a purchase. So it's very nice to see the customer journey of one customer here directly into Matomo. And what you can do if you want to maybe if you want to say, okay, I want to have only people who are coming from search engines, you can add segments. So you have all the data in Matomo, and the power of web analysis is the segmentation So you want to split up the data into a segment. So for example, I have here some example segments for this is go here, for example. It's a little bit so we can make a new segment. Maybe this is from it's loading the data. It's a little bit slow. So maybe it's better to host it on Matomo Cloud, for example. I have to refresh it. So you can say, maybe you have channel type. So channel type can be like also in GA4 if a visitor came directly in search, social, about maybe LinkedIn or Facebook, Meta, then campaign. And what we want to see is AI. So Matomo in the last release have a segmentation for customer coming from AI. They are matching the referral from OpenAI, ChatGPT, Gemini, and others. So we can say, okay, I want to have AI traffic here, and then you can test it. And then you see here the AI assistant is here, ChatGPT, for example, and now you have segment it. I hope it will load here. So you have segmented it into users coming from, for example, ChatGPT. So not so much users coming from this, but you see how users will interact with your website if they're using if they coming from AI traffic. So this is a very nice feature we have, and so you can segment it into here. For example, you can also say, okay, I want to go back for all visits, and then you see all visits here. In the real time, you see the real-time action. So if someone will visit your website here, you can do it, for example, go on here and visit this test website. I think, oh, I hope I will come up here. Here. So I came up here. This is a real-time visit. You don't have to refresh, and you see I visit here this websites, these different websites, and if I do some kind of interactions here, they will appear into here. This is yeah. Now you see here, I search for test. This is a search event, and you can see it here. It's a nice feature to see your real-time users. Then you have the location. So it's important, the location of your user. There is important setting that you can identify your users with a geodatabase, and then you have the split up about the country, the region, and sometimes also the city here. And on the other hand, you have the web browser language. So I can be a German guy and my settings into my Chrome are in English. So I will appear here in English. And yeah, this is very great. What you can also do in Matomo is if you hover on some kind of dimensions, like the web browser language, you can open up the segmented visit log. We see it before the visit log, and you can click on this, and then you get the segments. So this is the browser language in English, and you can see it here, also the visit log. It's very nice. And then you have the different reports like desktop versions, like the device model, screen resolution. So if you have questions, if maybe your boss going to you and say, okay, I want to have the information if you need a mobile first version. So mobile first version 2025 should be the standard. But if you have the question or get the question, do we need uh, um, a mobile first or a smartphone version for that, then you can answer it into here. This is very nice. And you have the also the information about the software, what your users or your visitors using, like the operation systems, also the browser engine. So it's a little bit deep dive. So this is the information about the your visitors. Then we have the behavior. So what are your visitors will do on your website, and there we have the pages. The pages we can also switch here. We have the opportunity to go on the gear icon and make it flat. So then you see the URLs. The other one was the hierarchical edition. So you have, if you have the paths of your website, like the product, and under the product, there are the pages. So you can see here the sum up. If you structured your website URL structure very well, then you have here the overview and the information about the page views, the unique page views. The difference about this is if you are going to maybe the make it flat again, and maybe if you go into the here the cards overview, you have 21 page views and 17 unique page views. If you are in a session or in a visit and you going to this page twice, then the page views are 2 and the unique page views are 1. So it's the unique one. You have also the information about the bounce rate. It's a little bit high here, and the average time on the page the user spent here, and the exit rate. On the other hand, these are the pages the users are visiting in the customer journey. On the other hand, there are the entry page, or better knowing as landing pages. So what are the pages? What are the first touch point of visit on your website? So these are the entrances on the pages. You are also the last touch point with your website in a customer journey. Can also switch here back on flat to like it better. Um, yeah, and you see what's the last page the users are visiting here. You can also go into the page title. So if you have a SEO title, you can have it here. But one notice from me, page titles, if you're working with an SEO together, page titles will change very, very fast. So this is not an identification that this one is also the main page. So maybe there can appear many page titles here for the maybe start page if an SEO changes the page title. So you can also add up a site search. So if a user enters into your site, not the Google site search, so if you have an internal search, you can see it here. And this is also a good point in digital analytics. So if you have the site search, you can also extract the keyword from the get parameter and see, hey, what are maybe the keywords my users are looking for. So maybe I have here keywords in it um, and no pages. So it's an easy low-hanging fruit to create a page maybe for her, or maybe for Cherry Nuggets. It's a um, um, card company here, and then you have here the information and to do this, and then you have also the information page following. So what the people are searching on your website, what's the next page, and you can also set up deeper with search category. Also, this is automatically is if there is a click on an external link that's not your domain, you can see it here. You can also see the downloads. So if there is, so I have some downloads on this page that you can download image. You can also see the PDF downloads for this. And then you have events. So for the events, we don't have events. When we can go back a little bit and extend the time frame here, you can see, I hope, there are some events. There are the event category action name. This is maybe familiar with Universal Analytics. You have also this setup. So an event can have a category and an action and a name. So you can group, for example, if you an event can be maybe a click on a button, or event can also be site search or some different kind of. So if you want to add more information into your Matomo, you can do it with events. And if you have an event, maybe a button click, you can name it button click, and the action can maybe the URL where the button is clicked, and the name maybe the button. So you have it grouped. Okay. Sometimes there are errors here. I have to contact my Matomo administrator. This is me. So maybe this is on a live demo. This can also happen. So I go further. If you have any questions about events or so on, feel free to contact me after this session. I want to go back a little bit to the pages here, and I want to show you other things here. You can use the date picker and compare it to previous periods. So this is very nice to compare it here. Maybe I can take a little bit shorter time frame. You can compare two ranges together and see the page views here and the page views here, for example. You compare it, and if you set it up here in the date picker, you can also go back on this overview, and then also the date picker is still selected here. Also, if you take segmentation, this is also selected here. So what I want to show you here, that in the compare mode, you can see the what has changed here. So if the visits going up 6.4%, so the average visit duration going down a little bit, and then you can compare your data. So comparison is also one big thing in web analysis. Comparison and segmentations are the main thing. You can do it here. You can compare it with the previous period, and that's the same time frame in days. You can also say the previous year. I would recommend, because if you have a shop and there is a seasonal thing are going on, it's a little bit strange if you compare maybe the December shop visits and the January shop visits. Then I can say, yeah, you will have more in December than in January, because it's a seasonal thing from the buying. So we have the behavior and now the acquisition. From which point or from where users came to your website, acquisition. Then we have here the overview again. We have the direct entries. Direct entries, if I type your domain directly, if I have a bookmark in my browser, then this is a direct entry. From websites, if there is a referral from another website, from search engines, social networks, from AI assistants. This is very, very new, and from campaigns. So you have the opportunity to use tracking parameters, or called UTM parameters, to define it for your own. If you're going into the channels, you have here the detail view, and we can go to the websites that are referring to this site. So this is Wikipedia, this is maybe a manufacturer and other things here. You can also click on here and see not always, but sometimes the complete URL of the referring page. You can also see the social networks into here. So from which social networks the people coming to the site. So it's YouTube, Pinterest. You can also switch the presentation mode from maybe from a simple table to show it better here. And you can see here the information. AI assistant, a nice report as well. So maybe some people or the most people coming from ChatGPT, and you have here the segmentation visitor log again. You can and also the row evolution. It's nice. It's segmented the evolution of this traffic here, but for now it's not working for here now. Maybe it can also be that my page is a little bit slow. For now it's not loading. Yeah, now here you have the evolution of the visits from ChatGPT in this time frame. It's very nice. Now I can wait here. What you can also do, you see it if you hover in here, you see that there is a little bubble. You can also add some annotations. Annotations are, you can wait here. Annotations, you can see if you have maybe here websites. We can wait here. Relaunch. For example, you can save it, and then you have here information about something going on. If you have a TV campaign or different kind of, I have to reload into here, then you can use it here and you can annotate your data, and the annotated data will show up in the view as well here. And if you click on, you see, okay, this was a relaunch, and maybe the traffic going up or down. I hope the traffic going up. The campaigns. So if you have a campaign about it, you know it. You have the URL builder from Matomo. So if you have the maybe the the URL builder tool is also here. So if you have a website, you can define your campaign parameters. If you have here test the campaign name can maybe the Xmas 2025, the source and medium. So if you have a newsletter and it's coming from email, then you can generate the URL, and this is the tracking URL. Maybe familiar with UTM parameter from GA4. You can also use UTM parameter here as well, and Matomo will take the data and push it into the campaign report. And these maybe campaign newsletter, email is as medium. These you can see here, for example. So I don't have here any campaigns. I only have campaign Google My Business. So I add up on the Google My Business entry and UTM parameter to identify if user coming from the Google Places entry website button click. So I want to track it. So I have here the medium, it came from Google. It's also Google traffic as well, but my campaign is here for Google My Business. If you have an e-commerce shop, for example, so you can also see the evolution of maybe e-commerce orders. You have here some kind of the average, the AOV, average order value, the total revenue. So these are very nice information you need for your next web analysis and decisions you will make. You have the cards, add to cart. If someone puts something into a cart and then go away, you can also see it here, how much revenue will left in your cart. So then you can go on and say, maybe I do an A/B test and I will optimize the flow through my complete e-commerce checkout. You have also it's also visitor log for e-commerce, for example, here. So it's the visitor log filtered for e-commerce. And you can see here the products, so which products are selling very well, and which IDs are selling very well. Maybe you can also add categories. This is card, cardistry, trick decks, and magic tricks for this. Then you can set up some goals. So if you have a website and if you have a company, your company will have some goals. So if your website don't have goals, in my opinion, you don't need a tracking solution. So every website should have goals. What can a goal be? So if you have maybe a shop site, a goal can be maybe add to cart, can a purchase, also can be a contact form, or I can have some small conversions like a click on an email address, or a click on maybe a click on a phone number. So these can also be some conversions. I only have here two basic conversions. And the very good thing in Matomo is if you have a conversion, you can also segment. So the power of web analysis is segmentation. So I have here yeah, the goals for maybe a purchase, and then I can segment it. I can segment it and say, okay, from which channels are the conversions are coming from which maybe AI assistants they are coming from, the goals per page. So I think these are the pages here, the visits to the conversions. So how many visits a customer needs to buy in your shop. Also the day to conversion, yeah, this is a little bit maybe too high. If you have a high priced product, this is normal. So if you have a low priced product, this is should be in this area. So you can segment it here again. You guys can also have different, you have also other types of tracking here. So for example, form analysis. This is an premium feature from, you can add a plugin into Matomo, then you can track forms, or you going to Matomo cloud, then you have here some many more features. So for example, the form, I don't install it on my private on the demo account. So this is tracking, form tracking on a form submit on your website, and then you have here different kind of features, and for example, the overview and the fields where the people are filling out. This is fully on privacy. These are only the field names you can give on. Then you can also track media. So if you have media on your website, like a video or the audio, you can see it into here. So this is only a quick overview. If you have Vimeo, YouTube, Matomo is very good into tracking it automatically. The videos, video plays, impression, how long the average time is played on the video. Then you see if the video will fit very well for you. Also for audio, you can make A/B tests. So you have two versions of your website, want to identify maybe the winning solutions here. Where is the conversion rate higher? So you have maybe here some different kind of versions, and then you can select and pick up the winning website and put it as your new original and test more and more. You have also heat maps into Matomo clouds where the users click, how deep the user will scroll. You can see it if I hover here. You can see it, the detailed informations. You have also session recordings. So if you can take one. So it's a real session recording. I hope I can play it here. And then you see how the users will interact with your website. So you have here some different kind and colors. Yellow is a click, orange is move, resize, form change, and so on, or website change. And you can see it here in detail. So, and then there is the custom reports. The custom reports is a good solution for you if you want to use secondary dimension. So maybe in other tracking solutions, you see, you know it about secondary dimension. In Matomo, you can define here some reports segmented really to your, you can say, okay, I want this dimension combined with these metrics, and you can create here reports. And these reports you can also, I think you can also add to your dashboard as well. So sum up, this was a quick, very quick overview about Matomo tracking. It's a little bit short for this kind of time. So if you have any questions, I try to.
Sure, I can see the one or other question here, and I have yet another question or some other questions for you. So the question in the chat is, how can I filter bots to only see real people's log or only bots log?
This is a good question. Um, have, what I have installed here, it's a plugin. I hope this is the name. So I installed this plugin. It's called tracking spam prevention. There you can set up tracking requests from a cloud or tracking requests from block headless browsers here, or exclude kind of things like the country. Maybe you have some countries you are not serving any of your products, and you see here incoming traffic spam of it. You can also exclude different kind of countries here. So this is a plugin I prefer to set up here to reduce the bots traffic on your website. So can go
Great.
on. Really great. How can a filter only see real people? Yeah, this is okay. So I in the YouTube live chat, I don't see any questions about
Well, we are
it.
also, the next session is starting in 1 minute. I would have
Oh,
one or
yeah.
two other questions, but
Okay.
yeah, we will spare them for later. So
Okay.
Thomas, thank you very much
Yeah.
for the brief introduction of Matomo and getting started with everything. Also, especially good was the focus on the AI, new AI
Yeah.
features and new AI traffic
Yeah.
channels,
Great. Yeah.
which may be very handy in the future. So thank you
Yeah.
very much, Thomas, and
Yeah.
see you later.
Yeah. I wish you a great Matomo camp. Yeah.
You
Bye.
too. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye.